cats like you and me are basically in the same age category. And you and me been going down the road for a long ass time, and now talking about these smartphones. You remember back in the day, Jim, back when we was first getting out on the road, man, we didn't even have no fucking cell phones. If you wanted to stop and make a call, you stopped at a truck stop at Denny's or, Waffle House, whatever. You got your ass on a payphone and you started dropping quarters in that motherfucker, or you call somebody collect, or the high rollers had a calling card. So you just put your number in and talk to a sumbitch. Times have changed since we've been on the road. Would you have ever figured it would have come as far?
Oh, well, I've said many times, every interview I've ever done, if there were cell phones in the 80s, nobody in the wrestling business would have been married longer than 6 weeks. And and think about this. You used to leave home and drive somewhere with some of your friends, 400, 500 miles in a car. And you'd okay, honey, I'll be back at 4 a.m. As a matter of fact, Dennis Condrey, and Dennis Condrey about the Twitter thing, he had a great line. He said, I don't understand this Twitter thing. He said, because as I sit here, right now, I don't give a fuck what anybody in the world is doing and don't know why they would think that way about me. But Dennis actually, in the olden days, and he not to the lovely lady that he's married to now and has been for 20 years, but in his previous life in the wrestling business, sometimes even if he was off, he would take his bag, leave home. He'd go do whatever he was going to do. He would stop at a gas station bathroom, wet his tights down, and come back about 3 a.m. with a wet bag of tights. And that was a hard one tonight, baby. And, that's what you used to be able to get away with, because you literally were incommunicado to the rest of the world from the time you left home till the time you got to the building, and from the time you left the building till the time you got back. And it was the Wild West.
When did you first get your first cell phone? Because I know you couldn't have been like, back when those first cell phones came out, they're size of a fucking brick. And that was the rich folks had that phone. So I never had one of those. What was your first cell phone? When did you get that motherfucker?
Well, I remember the ones the size of a brick because Paul Heyman hit me in the head with one in 1988 and crossed my eyes. I bled like a stuck hog on TBS, and not all of that was self-inflicted, I'll tell you that.
Did he hard-way you with the cell phone?
Well, but I told him to. I said, hit me over the head with this, motherfucker. Because one thing that Paul would do is sometimes he'd hold up, especially he wanted to try to throw an artful punch, and his punches looked like shit. And I said, just hit me in the side of the head. Don't hit me in the face. Hit me in the side of the head and hit me hard, because elsewise none of it, we're backing up here. But to answer your question, I guess it was probably about 96 when I moved up to 96, 97, when I got up to Stamford and was working in the office and, had to be in contact with people. I got the first cell phone, and I've, never enjoyed them. I've got bad hearing.